What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Wheel of Albums. Along with my brother Adam and our friend Jack, I am Justin. What we do here on Wheel of Albums is we spin a wheel of the 1001 albums you must hear before you die. We'll listen to that album for a few times during the week, and then we get back to you on our podcast, give you our thoughts. We think this is an album that really belongs on the Wheel of Albums. This week, Adam spun the wheel and got Sweden's The Hives with 2001's release, Your New Favorite Band.
It's a compilation, previous 2 albums and an EP. My initial reaction is I do think I know some Hives songs, so I may be treading on some familiar territory in this. I don't remember this particular album. I was not angry about this pick. I thought there would be some comfort in there. I do feel, I forgot to mention, we've got ourselves some Swedes this week. Maybe if Pat the Swede, a foreign exchange student from Weir High in the late 80s, is listening. Hey, Pat.
My initial reaction to this was I knew of Veni Vidi Vicious. I think that's how you say it. I have a copy of that because I loved Hate to Say I Told You so much. I remember seeing the Hives on MTV on a special and performing, and they looked like a really good time. I remember then picking up the CD, which I am showing you right here, and I don't listen to it too much. I didn't find the whole album to be that engaging. So your new favorite band, stopgap compilation before they would release Tyrannosaurus Hives. Have not thought of the Hives since. That's where I'm at going into this. Knowing it's a compilation album, that's even more of a bit of a turnoff. We'll get to that in a little bit as well.
A lot of lower fi garage rock revisited of the early 2000s. Who were the leaders of the movement? The White Stripes, the Strokes. I don't think the Hives quite fit there with the White Stripes. Maybe with the Strokes. Definitely not with the Killers.
A lot of these bands got lumped together around the same time as kind of an alternative to modern rock, which had gotten a lot more heavy, at least here in the United States. You know, the Hives just seemed to be in the right place at the right time with a really good song to boot.
A moment in time, and the Hives struck while they could, as hard as they could, and as good as they could, especially by releasing a compilation very early in their career.
Now, Adam did listen to this 3 times as required. He has had a week, and he is not going to be able to partake in this. He did send a couple text messages, though, as far as his thoughts go, and we're going to let our graphic artist, Sydney, go ahead and read one of them right now.
After listening, Spotify gave me a shuffling of early 2000s bands like the Hives. I would have taken any of those over your new favorite band. Give the Fratellis, the White Stripes, even the Kaiser Chiefs.
Or Kaiser.
I don't know. The grammar's bad.
The way this compilation is stacked as well, you got 5 songs from Veni Vidi Vicious in a row, and then the 7th song is also from that album. To me, this album is top heavy. I think those songs are better from that album, whether that be from familiarity or not, than the stuff from the first album and the EP. I did like AKA Idiot, though.
What do we like on here? Hate to Say I Told You So is a jazzy little number. The ones I also like, and these are just because they're just simple punk pop, garage style, lo-fi songs. I like Untutored Youth and AKA Idiot. Those are my 3 faves.
Also for the Hives, for as great as Hate to Say I Told You So is, a 10 for me. Variety is the spice of life, and the Hives are as bland as a piece of white bread.
Justin and Adam are runners, distance runners. Try to do a comparative as to running. So the Hives' strengths are just they come out of the gates. They start it right up. Boom, right in your face. But if you think of it, in the distance run, it looks awesome at first. You know, look at that guy. He's 100 feet in front of everybody. But what happens? You gas out. You run out of steam, and everybody laps you. It kind of gets tiring as a listener. That energy is there, start to finish, real quick. It's just all those bursts. And I think that is both their strength and their shortcoming.
And Jack, that very well could be why I've never been a big fan of Veni Vidi Vicious. Just remember listening to that and never really falling in love with that album. The same way I did with, say, Room on Fire by the Strokes or Elephant by the White Stripes or White Blood Cells. Maybe seeing them for 30 to 40 minutes at a festival would be the best way to take in the Hives. Even though the Hives are characters, I don't know how much character is in their music.
I do enjoy this listen, and the whole thing, you're done at the same amount of time of a sitcom. It's like 28 minutes with commercials. So not bad. Ultimately, it's kind of like fruit striped gum. It's there and it's exciting, and then it's gone shortly thereafter. And okay, that was kind of fun, but it wasn't the best ever.
One thing I do admire about the Hives is how they dress in uniform or suits, sometimes white suits, black suits. You gotta admire a band that it gets together and they all wear the same outfit. That would be Team Unity, the capital U.
They're not taking themselves too seriously. They're in it for the fun and games of the pop punk world. I appreciate that they're doing that. I figured the hardest part about being in the Hives is always trying to find all those matching suits. That can't be any easy task. So kudos also to, I'm sure the band has a tailor or something, or seamstress.
And to go along with all those outfits, it's got quite the names, the 5 of them too, each taking a different nickname. You got Howlin' Pete, you got Nicholas Arson, Vigilante Karlstrom, Dr. Matt Destruction, and Chris Dangerous. Just from the names alone, who are you going to hang out with on a Saturday night?
I'm going to keep it professional and go with Dr. Destruction. Man's got a degree, been to school. He's educated.
I'm going to go with Vigilante Karlstrom. Seems like he knows the seedy places of Stockholm if I was to go over and hang out with him. Vigilante, where are we headed out to tonight? Ends up being like a Swedish Chuck E. Cheese or something like that.
Nicholas Arson sounds like trouble. I'm hoping that they've had an intervention and there's not been any bad issues with him since your new favorite band has come out.
All right, when we take a look at the final ratings for your new favorite band by the Hives, Adam had it at the lowest with a 4.5, Jack in the middle with a 5.33, I gave it a 6.22. That's when we take all the songs, give them all a rating from 1 to 10, and then divide that by the number of songs on the album. The overall final rating was 5.35. Our 3 favorite songs, Hate to Say I Told You So, a.k.a. IDIOT, and Main Offender. The song we didn't like the most was Hail Hail, Spit and Drool. So we're at the part of the podcast. If we agree that Robert Dimery should have included this in his 1001 albums you must hear before you die.
Hey guys, are the Hives your new favorite band?
No, Sydney, they are not. Or wait, no, Sydney portraying Adam there. And as far as your new favorite band, the album, or should we call it compilation, this is something you must not hear before you die. A big no from me. Hate to Say I Told You So is an outstanding song and one of my favorites from the decade that it's in the 2000s. My main bone to pick this episode is with the guy that wrote the book, 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die, and that is Robert Dimery. Here's the thing. Compilations should not be included at all. There's no greatest hits packages, so the fact that this even saw the light of day into one of the editions of his books is mind-baffling. Probably the most mind-baffling inclusions I've seen yet in the book. Robert Dimery, you dropped the ball on this one, and I'm going to say no. Say no to this. I'm going to say no to Veni Vidi Vicious. But I do like the Hives' attitude is fun. They are a fun band, but no, they don't belong on this list. Jack?
Must you spin this compilation album that Robert Dimery has tried to shove down our throats in his fancy pants book, 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die? It's an enjoyable record. And, as I said earlier, it's like fruit striped gum. Burst of flavor, sounds nice, tastes great, and I probably won't be back for more. I'm just going to have to, just out of sheer respect for the other bands and albums that have been on the list, I'm going to have to say no, because it's a compilation. The earlier album, which had really the big hits anyways, it had Hate to Say I Told You So and Main Offender, was that Veni Vidi Vicious, a play on words, the Hives. Clever university again, this time from Sweden. You shouldn't put in a compilation. You shouldn't put in a greatest hits. And he probably was just putting together scraps, and he personally likes the Hives, so he figured a way to sneak them in there. So all apologies to the Hives, who've been nothing but a pawn in Robert Dimery's demented game. But ultimately, no, do not get this compilation. Your new favorite band, because it's a compilation, has no business being on the list.
And now reading for Adam, it's Sydney again.
Should you listen to your new favorite band? Absolutely not. By the end of my third listen, I absolutely have cared less. It's Hate to Say I Told You So, and then 11 songs that sound exactly like that. It ranks up there as least interesting album we've listened to.
Seems like he doesn't like it too much.
That's what the text says.
So the Hives are not our new favorite band, but we had a little bit of fun. We had a few laughs. And now we're going to go to the next album. Jack, why don't you give that wheel a spin?
Be leaving the hive mentality at this point and give the wheel a spin. Here we go. I ain't talking about the American dream, nasty roads. I ain't talking about hard times. I'm talking about the 1964 album, A Girl Called Dusty, on the next Wheel of Album.
Hey, do us a favor. If you're listening for the first time, or you have listened casually a few times, if you could follow along, give us a follow on Spotify, and we'll give you a new episode almost each Monday. We appreciate the support. If you're watching or listening along on YouTube, subscribe there. The list there is also growing. We love whenever we get comments from you guys, and we also love doing this podcast as well. So thank you for the support. For my brother Adam, who will probably be back next week, and for Jack. And a thank you to Sydney for stepping in and helping out with some of Adam's texts. We'll do A Girl Called Dusty next time on Wheel of Albums. Take care, everybody.
If I may so recommend, if you like what the Hives are putting out, you're really going to like the Vandals, who I doubt made the list. And they have a very similar album, bunch of short, fast-paced, in-your-face songs, the Vandals.
An old woodsy recommendation.
And the album is Hitler Bad, Vandals Good. So that's one to grow on.
Hey guys, are the Hives your new favorite band? Hey guys, are the Hives your new favorite band? Hey guys, are the Hives your new favorite band? Hey guys, are the Hives your new favorite band?